Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. It's Thursday again. Oh my gosh, it is almost the end of the week and it's time for Things We're Making Thursday. And if you've not heard of it, I'm gonna go ahead and fill you in on what it is. It is a giant, huge collaboration that has been going on for 2 years between countless content creators and non-content creators alike. This year, because every year you got to mix things up. This year, everybody in the month of October that is playing along is doing something Halloween themed, whatever Halloween means to you. I don't celebrate Halloween, but I like a lot of the colors and I want to make some fun things. So I have made some hats that out of yarn that Joanne Fabric has dedicated as Halloween yarn, or typical, spooky season is the name of the color, jack-o'-lantern's the name of the color. I mean, the yarn itself is saying Halloween colors, right? So I'm having fun doing things like that. If you're interested to see what everybody else is doing, follow that hashtag TWMT. I always have to do that and think about it. Things We're Making Thursday. Follow that hashtag and see what everyone else is coming up with. Now, it can be knit, it can be crochet, it can be both. You can do combinations of both. You can weave. You play with the yarn however you want to play with the yarn and make something that, is that particular season. I do fall type stuff. Like last week, only because we were just talking about the colors and stuff, I used this color, and there's a tutorial for this hat. I do have a tutorial. I've got a playlist with all my tutorials. I have just a few tutorials, easy. But this right here, this is a Joanne Fabrics Big Twist Value yarn, and it is called Spooky Season. So, it's in their Halloween-ish season stuff. And this one is Big Twist, and it is called Jack-o'-lantern. I love the colors, man. I am an orange fan. I love the colors. I showed one of these hats. I got more of them. Oh yeah, they're there. I have more. So this is what, okay, so that's what the yarn looks like. That spooky season yarn looks like just plain stockinette. And this is what it looks like in the textured stitch that I did for my tutorial. So you can just see how it breaks up. It's fun. So I got those done. And then I decided, well, I'm going to work on this. You can't get much more in the so-called Halloween whatever than jack-o'-lantern color. And I started making another hat. And I was looking at doing a page boy type hat. Is that what it is? I don't know. One that has like a little bit of a bill, flips up and everything. You put a big old button. And I thought, oh, I could have a lot of fun with that. So I started this with it. And, it's crochet. And a lot of times with the crochet and everything, it'll look like a bucket or a basket and everything, and then you put it on your head and it's fine, it's beautiful. So I was doing that and I got it to the 8 inches, I think is what it said, 8 inches from top to where I was going to do the brim, that type of thing. I did the 8 inches on that, and I was getting ready to do that part, and I showed it to hubby and everything, and he's like, no, that's not a hat. I'm like, but it is a hat. And he's like, no, that's not a hat. I'm like, I know what it is. So just the stroke of genius and everything. And yes, it has been sitting on the back of the toilet. That'll give a good clue for the last few days. Look at this. Oh my gosh. So instead of a hat, I turned it into the toilet paper cover and just put on a green stem. And I don't know if I like the way that looks for the stem. I might put little leaves on it, but whatever. Maybe just leave it the way it is. But this was going to be a hat, and for a little kid or whatever, it still could be with the little green nubby up there, right? It still could be a kid's hat, but I just thought it was the funniest thing, right? And you got to hide your toilet paper evidently nowadays, because any hiccup in whatever supply chain, this, that, everything else, everyone goes for the toilet paper. So I don't understand it, but whatever. So this is my let me have fun with my Things We're Making Thursday project, and I gotta throw this one at a YouTube friend of mine who will start lots of fun projects, and as she comments, a lot of her things, whatever it is that she's making, turns into baskets. So it's more of a, as she works on it, and that's Lori from the Armchair Chef. If you've not watched her, I'll link her down below. She is, in my opinion, she's really funny. I love watching her. So I just thought that was humorous that here I'm starting with the hat and I'm like, hey, Lori, look, it's a toilet paper cover, you know? So I changed that up. And you can see what I meant by it really does, you know, lend itself to being flat and everything as a basket. If, you know, depending on the yarn and everything you wanted to use, you know, if you wanted to turn it into a basket. Did you get any of that limited edition from Lion Brand? Did you buy any mystery boxes? You know, that yarn that's not limited, the one that they sent to everybody. I had like 15 or 20 balls of that stuff, and I'd send it to people if they were interested, but I don't want to just send that like when I'm sending out different packages. I don't want to put that in there because so many people are not a fan of it. I want it to be a wonderful happiness. Anyway, that's perfect for something like this. You want to turn this into baskets? That is perfect. And the stitch is great. So you've got a lot of front posts on this. You don't have any back posts, but you've got front post double crochets. You know, double crochet and front post double crochet. Get that really close. You can see that. Yeah, right along there with the ribbing. And I just freehanded the little stem thingy, and I crocheted it right on. I did. This was already completely done as far as the hat, because yeah. And when I decided, with my husband's help, of course, to turn this into the toilet paper cover, I actually had to rip out quite a bit. I really did. You can see here that I worked up all of that, right? So that was on the hat, and I'm like, well, no, that needs to be a toilet paper cover, because I don't know if the kids are going to be interested in this as, you know, a hat color or what have you. And we're going to put that in our put that back in the bathroom. When I'm done with this, I'm going to put it back in the bathroom. It has not had the stem until about 5 minutes before me turning on the camera. I just put a stem on there. So that's what I mean by, I don't know if I would like it or not, but my goal on this was I didn't want just a straight up stem. I wanted it crooked. I wanted it to kind of angle over, and it does. I mean, it hides your toilet paper, good enough. And I think it's kind of cute too, because I have in my husband's, my bathroom, I have the gnome. I have the gnome with the fuzzy beard and everything that I made during the height of the pandemic. I was talking on, you know, when everyone was meeting through Zoom calls and stuff, and you had those that still had knitting circles and crochet circles. They were all doing it through Zoom. So on one of our Zoom calls, we were discussing that and how the grandmas had it right with doing the dolls that they put on the backs of the toilets, and it covered the toilet paper. And I don't know how many of those I made back in the day. I made so many of those things, sold them, gave them away, sold a lot of them, right? You know, I mean, hey, there you go. And that's where the joke came around. It's like, oh, I want a gnome. And it was like, challenge accepted. And a couple hours later, because I went running around and everything, you know, I mean, everyone was sequestered in the house, whatever. And I had yarn. I'm like, I'm good. I made the gnome and then sent everyone a picture of that. I ended up making like 5 or 6 of those things. And we still have one, and that one's the one that's in our bathroom. So I have the gnome in the one bathroom, and then I've got the jack-o'-lantern, right? My version of a pumpkin in the other bathroom. So with the third bathroom, I don't know what, Easter? Should I make a bunny rabbit or something? I don't know. Kids use that one a lot. It might end up in the toilet. You know, I mean, kids, I'm just saying kids, right? Decorative things in the back of the toilet, not a good idea. But it's like, I was watching the bunny rabbit, Nana. I don't know. I mean, it could happen. But yeah, I just think that's kind of humorous that I've got the fall season and the Christmas season taken care of. And I don't take them down. I don't change out. Well, for one thing, our bathroom, if your house is similar to our house, people don't normally go in the master person's, you know, bedrooms, their bathroom. They don't go, you know, people don't generally go in my bedroom, right? That's me and my husband, right? And so therefore they don't go in our bathroom. There's another bathroom. Go to the other bathroom, right? You know, there. Go argue with the kids. You got that. But we don't change it out, you know, through holiday themes and what have you. You know, I've got the towels in the kitchen, whatever theme. It doesn't matter. I've got bumblebees, I've got some bunny rabbits, and I've got some Christmas. I'm like, you know, there you go. It just, you know, I don't know. We've got Christmas towels on now. They'll be fine. Whatever works. It's, you know, it works. It's functional. So I was just so tickled to have started off making a hat that had no real use or purpose. I mean, okay, it has a purpose. Obviously, it's a hat, but it wasn't for a specific person. It wasn't like, oh, I've got to finish this for, you know, like a lot of my other projects. If you've been around, you know what I'm talking about. I got a lot of projects and we are pushing crunch time. It is the end of October. We are pushing, you know, so making the hat didn't really, I'd give it to somebody, right? It wasn't like, oh, I have to get that done. Now this, unless one of the kids comes along and says, "Ooh, Mom, I want it," we're keeping it, right? You know, like, this is cute. I like it. I'm like, I'm happy. I made something fun and enjoyable that I want to keep, not just because. I'm like, this is great. You know, and I was thinking of doing some like little leaves, like I said, on this thing and what have you, but I just think this cracks me up. It does. And see, us crocheters, we know. I did the professional finish. You know what that is. You know it's already running through your mind. You know what stitch I'm talking about. The reverse single crochet, the crab stitch, right? However you call it, whatever that term is for you. See, along the edge, that is the height of perfection. That is the professional touch. That is the finishing touch. A regular single crochet on the end is not the same. You got to do that reverse single crochet, and then that's fancy. That's fancy. That's like, you know, being way back in the day and everything, and the height of sophistication is talking about how you had gray poupon mustard. I'm just saying, right? There are certain things that are the height of sophistication. And for us crocheters, it's that stitch. That's the professional stitch. That's I have finished, right? That elevates it, right? My toilet paper pumpkin has been elevated. Now that sounds hilarious, doesn't it? My toilet paper pumpkin is bougie. Oh my gosh. I've got a bougie toilet paper pumpkin. Oh wow. That's the way to do it. You know you want one. You know you do. You want a bougie toilet paper pumpkin. And for everybody that does the markets and stuff like that, you should make one. And just out of curiosity to see if it sells. I don't know. We've got people and everything, and I've already kind of scoured out some of the craft fairs that are coming up, only because I know somebody who's actually at the craft fairs and everything. So I'm going to try to go to a couple of those because it's fun, right? And yeah, Justine is she's not a content creator, but she's wonderful. And she does great job on the fairs and the fests and stuff. And it's like, Justine, I think you need to add a toilet paper cover. And Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts, she does have a channel and an Etsy store, and she does all sorts of things too. Like, Elaine, tell me, would this sell? I don't know. It's a fancy toilet paper cover. Would this sell? Are people over it? I don't know. Hide your toilet paper. I'm just saying, you don't know what might come up next. Yeah, so there you go. I don't know. I'm just having a blast at this moment. I'm just so tickled that I have a matching toilet paper cover now. It cracks me up. I make myself laugh in funny little things like this, and I think it's fantastic. The reason being is I find that I'm happier more often than waiting for something big. And something as simple as putting the reverse single crochet, the crab stitch on the edge of my toilet paper cover to finish it off and give it the height of sophistication cracks me up. I mean, I think it's absolutely hilarious, but you know, there you have it. Let me know if you're going to make any toilet paper covers or anything along that line. I can point you to the hat pattern that I started on this, and you can go for it, or anything you want. I am curious. Have you ever done a TP cover? I have made so many of them in my days. And now there's books. There are books that you can get with just some really out there, crazy, wild toilet paper covers. I mean, you know, they had something there. There you have it. Oh, and next month is hats for the things we're making Thursday. It is hats. I put that down below, but I didn't really pay attention. And somebody pointed out to me, it's like, ooh, you're really getting ready for November. Yes, I am, with all the hats, because it's getting colder and the kids want hats, and that's a whole lot faster to do than some of the other projects the grandkids have been asking for. So we'll see how that works out. Maybe I'll let them pick out some hats, yarn, and make something like that. with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.